I'm sending some stuff to auction. This is a semi-local auction to me, a little over an hour away. Used to be a weekly auction, in-person auction. They had sort of switched to bi-weekly before COVID happened, and then they were closed for a long time, and then they reopened as online only. I've helped set up a couple catalogs. It's actually quite a production for them to catalog. They sell 2,000 lots or so every other week online. And previously, you would sort of fill up these tables as a consigner, and then maybe a group of consigners might go together and fill up a single table. I rarely sold stuff. I'd put a few individual items on friends' tables. I had one item do really well. Most of the items were things I was looking to get rid of, and so typically I lost money on it. But since they've come back, I've taken advantage of this online sale, since you can consign smaller number of items pretty easily, and I've consigned quite a few items. Some of this stuff was things I bought out of a big house lot about a month ago. Paid $300 for a big load of stuff. Some of it I really wanted the individual items, and some of it I just took it because it was cheap enough, and I figured this was always my intent with the bulk of it, was just to flip it through Crumpton. So this sale, I think it's 19 lots. So will I make money? Will I lose money? I don't know. Let's check out what I'm selling and let's see how it goes.
I have $25 into the signs. I have about $65 into this primitive lot, and I think about the same in this lot of metalware. The bulk of this table lot came from the $300 house purchase. I think I have about 45 or 50 into everything on this table. I have 45 into everything on this table, expecting it to do over 100, maybe even 150. I think the other table lot should sell for about 100 as well. I have 45 into this shelf lot of the models and the Fisher-Price toys. This shelf came from my personal collection. And then this stuff is some leftover toys and comics. The political buttons are left over from when I had a shop 7 years ago. I think I paid $20 for this pet chair. And I paid $8 for this carved wood figure. This sign's pretty neat, double-sided. The Christmas tree side is slightly newer, probably from the 60s or so, 60s or 70s. And then the other side, it's Hero Sandwiches. Check it out. Pretty good looking. I think that side's probably more from the 40s or 50s. I paid $100 for the showcase, but I used it in my shop for many years. I think I paid $40 for the condom machine. I bought 4 at one time. Paid $17 for the Rock'em Sock'em robot set. I paid $65 for this advertising clock. Have never tried too hard to sell it. Another showcase from when I had my shop that closed 7 years ago. I think I paid $40 for it. Paid $15 for this drink rack. Just got it out of the house call. And then this Christmas thing is something my mom had, but hasn't really been on the display. Here is the sale with about 3 hours left to go. It first gets posted on Saturday, and of course the sale isn't until Wednesday morning, but I spend way too much time throughout the week checking to see how my stuff's going. Not a healthy way to do it. I'm sure other smarter people than me don't look at all until either the last minute or the end. Most of it seems pretty disappointing at this point, but that's okay. Some of the stuff I'm hoping to make money on, and some of it I'm just trying to clear out some space. I mean, of course, I want to make as much money as possible, but getting rid of some stuff will be nice. And here you can see the cost of the commission. I'm hoping for most of my stuff to sell for over $50. Under $25, they take 50%, so that really hurts.
Who cares? Let's see what the stuff sold for.
More than doubled my money on the sign lot, so that was good, since I paid $25. The metalware lot, that one hurt. I paid a lot more for that stuff, but I wasn't expecting to make money. I just wanted to get rid of it. Those were bad buys. The primitive lot actually made money. I wasn't necessarily expecting to make money, so I'm happy with that. The large painting lot was mostly paintings that I got when I bought another painting, so that's basically all profit. Happy with that. Made a little money on the Fisher-Price lot. Worth more on eBay, but I just didn't get around to listing it. The vintage sports books hurts. That sale hurts. I was hoping for more from the political buttons, but I don't have time to piece those out at $1 or $2 each. The comic lot was good. That could have done a little bit more, but that was definitely good, and a lot of profit there. This table lot was disappointing. I thought it would go for a little bit more money, closer to 100, but it's basically a wash. The next table lot I actually thought would be more like 150, based on what similar lots have sold for recently there, but I made good money on that. I'll lose money on the carved man because of the commission. I'll make money on the chair. I actually bought that after seeing it at the ADA show one year for a lot of money, and I found one much cheaper somewhere else. I'm making money on the sign, but I thought that would bring more like 100, 150. I think I had it priced around 200, 225. I used the showcase for years, so even losing money on that is fine. The clock did well. I made money, probably money left in that on eBay or something, but I didn't feel like shipping that. The Rock'em Sock'em robot sold for more than I paid for them, but when you factor in the commission, I lost money. The showcase definitely made money. I think I paid $100 for that, and I used it for years, so it was essentially paid off. The Christmas tree thing was probably a wash for my mom, and then the soda rack, I made money on that. Paid $15, so that was a good buy. This thing saved me though, the condom machine. Paid $40 for that, and look what it brought. That was great.
Pretty good results overall, I think. More stuff went for less than I expected than went for more, but I was particularly disappointed with, I think, the shelf lot of signs and the table lot with the advertising boxes and tins. I made money on those two groups, and they sold for decent amounts for sure, but definitely less than what very similar lots have sold for in the recent past at the same sale. The comics and the showcases definitely brought about the range I thought. The one showcase went in the higher range of what I thought I could go for. I could have seen it selling for over 200, but I could have seen it selling for 150, so it did well. The primitive shelf lot did very well. I was happy with that. I thought that would sell for, closer to what I had into the stuff, which would have been around 60. Instead, it sold for 100. And the condom machine did great. I actually bought 4 of those years ago for $40 each. I sold 2 of them, I think, for both around $100, $125 each. Still have 1 left. I guess I'll have to run it through this sale, but not for another couple months. I wasn't going to sell anything else here until after Christmas anyway, or after New Year's anyway, but don't want to sell it too soon because buyers will just think there's a ton of them out there. In this case, there was only 2. Key takeaways for selling stuff at auction: know your audience. In this case, I follow the sale. I actually bought 3 things in this particular sale, so I have an idea of what certain things tend to bring, and I tried to bring the stuff that normally does well there. Second key takeaway is you need stuff with little money into it, or no money into it, which of course is next to impossible to do. Everything we buy, we want to buy for no money, but if you're going to sell it at an auction, it's very helpful not to have a lot of money into the stuff. As dealers, if you're a full-time dealer, you often reach for stuff, either because you really like it or you feel desperate for merch or whatever. That stuff's going to be hard to make money at auction. Number 3, be prepared to lose money. Even losing money can be good sometimes, just in terms of cash flow or space. For instance, I only have so much stuff I can put into my different antique malls or take to shows or sell online. I can't sell everything for retail. The Fisher Price lot was a good example of this. I could have made more money on eBay, but it would have taken a lot more time, and so I made a little bit of money and I moved it on and I got rid of the stuff. Number 4, you have to remember you're averaging a load, so you really need something to smoke. In this case, for me, it was a condom machine. It's helpful to have more than one thing smoke. The sports card books did awful. Maybe not worse than expected. I mean, I was hoping they'd go over to 25, at least for the threshold of the commission change. Probably had a lot more money in that. That was something I was buying as a teenager, collecting, and those did particularly bad. But the condom machine did really well. And so you got to remember you're averaging a load. I think I ended up averaging about $70, $72 or something per lot, which is, I think, right on average for the overall auction. I would prefer to do better than that, of course, but if you send enough lots, it'll tend to average out. If you only send 1 or 2 lots to auction, it seems like a greater chance of disappointment. Overall, a success. I'm certainly happy with it. I would have liked to have made more, but I could have easily have made less, so I'm definitely happy with it. It's very helpful at this time. I just spent $1,400 on my van, so it's nice to get cash flow back. And I probably ended up profiting about $500, $550. So definitely a pretty good week right there, not including everything else I sell. Until next time, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll probably I'll do another video when I send more stuff to auction in the future. Who knows? I might lose my shirt on that stuff. Anyway, thanks.